Hi, everybody. So I'm back talking about self-love today. And the reason I'm doing that is because it is the most important item that you can do for yourself that will raise your consciousness. So we're moving into the age of love, and that is unconditional love. So it's important to remember that, and also how much we affect each other. We really affect each other's consciousness. So the more people that can reach unconditional love of self are really going to be helping themselves so much and people around them as well. So it's just a beautiful thing to be doing. So one of the main things is that you want to know that you are worthy. So you are worthy and you are enough. And maybe an easy way to remember that is to remember that you carry the divine spark within you. And that divine spark comes from Source or God, whichever one you believe in. So they are basically one and the same. Now, God is kind of a trigger for some people, but just remember that God is, how would I say that? Basically what you believe it to be. Now, I've seen Source or God, and it's the most loving, beautiful, kind place that you can ever be. And that's where we all live. That's home. And we come from there, and we are unconditionally loved there. So, because of the conditions on this planet, we don't have to continue to take them on. So when you're feeling unworthy, just remember that everyone else that is the one that makes up Source deems you to be worthy. So don't forget that when you're running up against a hard day or someone's yelling at you or whatever's going on. So another thing I want to talk about is forgiveness. So that's another way to help you with self-love. So if you can write down who you're upset with and forgive yourself for spending time with them. Forgive yourself for allowing them to treat you in a certain way. And then forgive them for their actions. And please excuse the drill going on outside. So then forgive them for their actions. And then once you've done that, don't take it as you're just going to let them do it again, because you're going to be stronger when you deal with them next time, if you ever deal with them again. But just realize that you have then severed the energy of that pain that came from the interaction to begin with. So maybe it was a relationship, and someone mistreated you or dumped you, or you dumped them, or whatever happened. But as long as you can forgive that and truly feel it, like it doesn't matter, it was a lesson. So think about what you learned from that lesson, write it down. Journaling is really going to be helpful with self-love. Write it down, cradle your inner child, tell your inner child that you are sorry for the hurt that was caused, and love your inner child while you're doing these, journaling entries. But every time you bump up against something that is a trigger, if someone triggers something within you, ask why, write it down, and then write down how you forgive. So you need to forgive that process, and you need to find what you really truly feel within you. So write those two things down, and that will really make a big change inside of you. The more you forgive, the less energy you will have inside of you that feels unworthy. So another thing is detachment. So a lot of us, in this kind of genre talk about being detached, seeing things from a detached, distance or whatever. But basically what this is to cut the cord. So when you have a relationship with someone, whether it's a child or a husband or wife, whatever, you've got this little energetic cord that goes between you. And when you are continually feeding that cord, whether it's with good energy or bad energy, it depletes both of you. So it's kind of like a electrical wire. So just think of it like that, electrical energy wire. So what you want to do is cut that cord. So when you cut that cord, you also want to heal up your aura on on the outside of your body. So go ahead and snip that cord. I've had to take a chainsaw to some of my cords, so do whatever you have to. But then move your hand over where you felt that cord was and heal up that spot. And think about healing up that spot on the other person as well. Most of the time it's someone we love. So we want to heal that up for them too. Just imagine it in your mind. And when you do that, that's going to stop that exchange and they're going to feel better and so will you. Also, think about, where did that cord come from? Sometimes it's an obligation that you feel towards that person. Sometimes, what else could it be? Just it's usually an obligation, but it may be a disagreement. There might be something else that's triggering that cord to be there. And sometimes it's been there your whole life. So what we need to do is not have any cords attached to us, because then we can be detached. And also everybody can learn their own lesson. So when you have a cord attached to someone else, then they're affecting your lesson that you came here to learn on earth, and you're affecting their lesson. And it doesn't help either one of you evolve. So it's definitely better to cut the cord. So one of the things you can do with your journal as well is every morning before you're too awake, go ahead and think about, what is going to happen today? How do I want to feel today? And kind of write down all of the different things that, and there may only be like 2 or 3, but write them down and then decide, what is it I want to feel? So pre-program your day, and that's going to help as well. So what things do we have to do? So we have, you want to self-love, love yourself. So you're worth it, you're enough. Remember that. Go ahead and write, in your journal, get a journal. It's really important to get a journal. You came from source, so you are worthy. Forgiveness and detachment are huge here. You just don't want to feel like you are being pressured by anyone else, or you have any energetic pressure from anyone else. So another thing you can do before you go out in your day, after you've done your little tune-in, go ahead and grow your light before you leave, because that's going to help you feel just tremendously better throughout the day. So think about your little divine spark and grow that spark. Make it big, make it huge, get it outside of your body and big, big, big. And that way, what it will do is it will protect you from energy that's not good for you. So that's another thing you can do. But just go forth and love yourself and enjoy your day and have a beautiful one.